about this story? UPS, they no longer are delivering, so to speak, when it comes to insurance for spouses of employees. Company announcing that it will drop up to 15,000 spouses from its medical plan if they're eligible for coverage elsewhere. Now, they cite changes from the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Joining us, Daily Beast columnist and Fox News contributor Kirsten Powers, and Deneen Borelli is here, outreach director at Freedom Works and also a Fox News contributor. All right, Deneen, start with you. What do you make of this?
Well, listen, if President Obama was running a company, a business that provided goods and services, he would be sued for false advertising because he has misled the American people.
In what way? Because these people will be covered elsewhere. That's the whole point.
Elsewhere. But the other point is that you can keep your current insurance.
Right.
And that's the thing. We're talking about 15,000 spouses, family members who now have to seek health insurance elsewhere. So Obama sold the Affordable Care Act on the fact that it will be cheaper and you can keep your insurance when in fact Americans have been misled.
That fair point, Kirsten, that people were expecting to keep, as Deneen says, their own insurance, and in this case these spouses who have jobs themselves will need to go to another, well, potentially another insurance company and go through their own employer. What do you think of it?
Well, the reporting on this has said that UPS repeatedly cited Obamacare as the reason for this, but it's not clear why Obamacare would have caused this, especially because they said it's only for spouses who can get their coverage elsewhere, which means that if they have a job where they have coverage under their employer, that they can get it there, which is actually a trend that has been happening with insurance companies pre-Obamacare. So I'm a little confused as to why Obamacare would make them have to do this.
The reason that they're citing here, and I mean, it's funny how we're learning along with everybody else with Obamacare, even as much as we've covered it up until this point, but it is complicated. The law requires large companies to cover employees and children, but not spouses, is how it was worded there. And what did you just say, Deneen?
Well, this is all about choice. Why should someone have to be forced to seek insurance elsewhere when they were already covered? Perhaps the coverage with UPS might be better than with the spouse's insurance current plan is. So maybe that's why they were on that health plan. We don't know, and that's what America is about, choices. But on the flip side, we have this mandate that is forcing individuals to have to seek insurance elsewhere.
Right.
And Obama sold this on the fact that you won't have to change your insurance plans.
But Kirsten, your point is what? That this was going to happen anyway, that it doesn't necessarily have something to do with the health care law.
Well, it's already been happening.
Right.
But I'm not sure. Are you arguing, Deneen, that Obamacare makes it illegal for a company to offer coverage to a spouse?
What UPS is saying is that because of Obamacare, the costs will be higher and insurance costs are going up. And in the end, these individuals have to seek insurance elsewhere. People should be able to get whatever insurance that they can afford and not be forced to move elsewhere.
And we do hear you getting to this.
But it seems to me the beef should be with UPS. I mean, they're not being forced to do this by
Kirsten is saying.
Right. Obamacare is not making them do this.
It is a choice.
The consequences of Obamacare, according to UPS and other research, costs are going up. They can't afford to provide insurance coverage for the spouses.
Well, that's going to be
they have to move elsewhere.
Talking about consequences, unintended or otherwise, which will be the big question. Kirsten, we were sold this idea that healthcare costs were going to go down as a result of the healthcare law. Do you believe that is going to still be the case?
Well, I know, because I don't think that the Obamacare didn't go far enough. The changes that would have needed to take place to cause coverage to become cheaper, I don't think are actually included in the bill. Well, I support single payer, but I don't think single payer was ever on the table. No. But just dealing with the way billing is done, and there are a lot of different things that were not addressed.
So costs won't go down.
That are part of the underlying costs. And so, look, healthcare costs have been increasing for how long? 15 years?
But here's another thing. It's a total disaster.
So it's hard to pin exactly whether it's Obamacare or if it's just that Obamacare hasn't.
It's a total disaster. Congressional members don't want it. IRS unions don't want it. Even union labor leaders don't want it for their people. It's an absolute disaster.
All right, we have to wrap it up at this point. Did you want to make, I know you got cut off there, Kirsten. I'm sorry about that. So did you want to finish your thought? You lost it anyway? The train's left the station. Thanks. Always good to see you. Thanks so much. And Deneen as well. Deneen and Kirsten. All right.